It is my privilege to introduce the distinguished alumnus, Jeff Styers, from the Wayne Memorial Class of 1984. Jeff Styers graduated from Wayne Memorial High School in 1984. Shortly after graduation, Jeff was enlisted into the United States Marine Corps. During this time, Jeff was a celebrated amateur boxer, winning 98 of his 102 amateur boxing. His amateur highlights include a stint on the All-Marine boxing team and winning the Michigan Golden Gloves in 1986. Jeff made his professional debut in early 1988 and went on to have a successful professional boxing career as he was unbeaten in 11 professional fights. At the height of his career, Jeff experienced an epiphany that after much soul searching left Jeff walking away from the only endeavor he had ever known. Without a college degree or any real-world experience to speak of, Jeff set out into the business world with the same lofty aspirations that he had as a professional boxer. Years later, Jeff ended up in the professional staffing industry where he applied the same traits he knew from inside the ring into a business environment. Those traits served him well as he experienced early success, culminating with a rise through the management ranks and eventually landing him on the executive level of a $2 billion company. Convinced he could build a better company with more meaning to himself, Jeff left the corporate world and in 2002 started his own company. Today, that company, Aero Strategies, is a $54 million firm with over 400 employees and offices across the country. Aero Strategies was named the 5th fastest growing private company in the country by Staffing Industry Magazine and has been on Inc. Magazine's list of fastest growing companies for the last 7 consecutive years. Most recently, Aero Strategies was recognized as the fastest growing staffing firm in Michigan by Cranes Detroit, and Jeff was recognized as the Entrepreneur of the Year by Ernst & Young. Please join me in welcoming our distinguished alumnus for 2014, Jeff Styers.
Thank you. Superintendent Dr. Garrissey, Principal Weber, faculty and staff, family and friends, and most importantly, you, the Wayne Memorial graduating class of 2014. Congratulations. Today marks the successful completion of your life's first meaningful endeavor. So now what? I'm not saying that you can't take a little time to celebrate, but this game of life starts whether you want it to or not, and you're on the clock. I wonder how you would respond if you were given one chance, just one opportunity to secure your future forever. For those of you wearing a cap and gown similar to mine, that moment for you is now. But take heart, I've seen your future, and it's very bright. I can say this with confidence because I was sitting exactly where you are 30 years ago today, and I assure you, I had nothing over on you. I graduated high school with a 2.3 GPA, and I wondered if I'd graduate at all. I was a shy and skinny kid, and I wasn't the most popular student in school either. But since you and I share the same starting point, and I've already traversed most of the challenges you'll face, I want to tell you what you can expect in this life. Starting with some misleading information that I feel society has been feeding you about what you can expect to be given to you, and what you're entitled to. And the answer is really simple. Absolutely nothing. You are not entitled to anything. Nothing from your parents, your school, the government, or even your future employers. Entitlement, and that's your parents' pattern, by the way, entitlement is the biggest lie that society's feeding you today. But this should either trouble or dismay you because neither your successes or failure in life will ever come to you through an outside source, but only from within. And don't buy into the fallacy that you're a product of your circumstance, because you're not. You're the product of your own decisions, and those decisions you'll be accountable for. You will be your biggest ally or your biggest enemy in your quest for achievement. But know that everything you need to be successful, you already possess. It's already inside you. It's planning. It's just acting, waiting for you to act. But that's the million-dollar question. Will you act? Look, I know that being told that everything you need you already possess can be somewhat convicting. And the reason for that is it's 100% of accountability squarely back on you. And it should. It's where it belongs. It's true that I didn't start with anything more than you have now, but the one thing I did have was a dream. A dream and the willingness to pay whatever price I had to pay to see that dream come true. You see, I believe success, whatever definition you want to give to that word, is relatively simplistic. So as long as you're willing to pay the price, and it only requires that you have three necessary elements. Starting with imagination, which I define by not seeing the world as it is, but seeing it as you want it to be. Great accomplishments are always the result of imagination translated to action. And action is the foundational key to all of success. How incredibly unique is it that the God who created the universe and the human race would give to us individuals the free choice that would permit us to select either our own achievement or our own destruction? How will you use this precious gift? For many of us, we decide ahead of time that we can't. We then develop a list of reasons why we can't that then lead into a litany of negative and limiting language and beliefs. And the outcome is always the same. You can't. You need to demand more for yourself. Be bold in your imagination, and when you look to the future, do so through a lens of what's possible and not your own current reality. Why did I become a professional boxer? Because when I was 14 years old, I went to the movie theater and saw the movie Rocky, and I became inspired. If I had looked at my own current reality at that time, I would have saw a skinny, wimpy kid without a tough bone in his body. But I chose not to do that. Instead, I used my imagination as a compass to what was possible, and then I just simply reverse engineered the necessary steps to achieve the dream of becoming a successful professional boxer. And I did just that. You must always be willing to sacrifice who you are for who you can become. I wonder why it is that we think nothing of the accomplishments of others. That is, what others do, we take in stride. But when it comes time to set our own goals, we tend to aim embarrassingly low. Know that you were created to become all that you can be, and since you already possess the only thing you'll ever need, which is a rare gift to dream and aspire, you can achieve anything. Be prepared to start this journey. Despite any limitations you feel may be holding you back, you need to start where you are with what you have, knowing that what you have is more than enough. But you need to start. Despite your past challenges, your current circumstances, or perceived limitations, know that regardless of what you're going through this very minute, others have persevered worse and have achieved more. There are no excuses. I think Martin Luther King said it best when he said, "You may not be responsible for getting knocked down, but you are certainly responsible for getting back up." Successful men and women have an expectancy to win. They anticipate achievement as a reward for their hard work, and seldom are they disappointed. Are you going to work hard? How do you feel when you hear those words, hard work? Work, which many people call a curse, I say is really our only salvation. Our very existence is based on the principle of hard work. Work or starve is nature's motto. Nature demands that you labor first, then experience the reward of rest. Work hard is the greatest advice you'll ever receive. I'm fortunate that my parents told me early on that nothing was going to be given to me in this life, and I better be prepared to work hard for anything I wanted. Now, 30 years removed from where you sit today, I now realize that everyone had a dream at some point in life, but few were willing to invest in the hard work necessary to achieve them. And now, many of them live a life full of regret. Please know that destiny is not a matter of chance. It's a matter of choice. What will you choose? In addition to a willingness to work hard and a powerful imagination, you will need an unshakable faith. A faith in yourself, a faith that you can achieve, a faith in a higher power who will grant you what it is you seek. For me, that faith is in Jesus Christ. Understanding that others may have different beliefs, please know that I'm not imposing my truth on you, but if I'm to tell my story, I cannot leave out the core reason for why I'm here or the success that I've experienced. My walk in life, my journey as a collection of experiences have all been led and fulfilled through my prayers and an unwavering faith. Dr. Dennis Kimball says, we achieve faith through prayer, and know that prayer favors no race, color, or creed, nor is it bound by any sort of religion, tradition, or dogma. Prayer recognizes no precedent, follows no hard and fast rules, and its only fixed price is that of an unyielding faith. It is through prayer that we destroy the greatest enemies of achievement, which is fear and doubt. With faith, all things are possible, including your own personal success and the realization of your dreams. I'm not saying that success will come easy, because it won't. Life is never fair, the playing field is not always level, and know at some point in your life, you'll be asked to carry more than your fair share. When this happens, and it certainly will happen, you have two choices. You can either retreat and complain, or take strength and move forward. Many times in life, these will be your only two options. You will also need to develop a resolute belief in yourself, because no one else will. The cold hard truth is that nobody in this world cares whether you fail or succeed, but believing in yourself is the first secret to success. I would warn, however, that you shouldn't care about success either, as it relates to fame and fortune. Although that's what you think success is about, it's not. Trust me that you will find it's better to fail after much work and exhaustion and a worthwhile cause than it is to succeed for false gain. And know that winning is still a good thing. I'm not talking about some narcissistic, ego-driven quest for an empty prize. I'm talking about winning for a worthwhile and noble goal. Wanting to win is not a bad thing. In fact, in 1 Corinthians it states, do you not know that the race all the runners run, but only one gets the prize? Run in such a way that you might obtain it. Today, there are 37,000 high schools across the country that are graduating. There are 3.2 million seniors just like you graduating today, and they will all run the race. You need to run in such a way that you might obtain the prize. If there's a thematic message in my words today, what I hope you would take away is knowing that only you control your own destiny. You will be the sum total of all the choices you make when your life is over. And know that excuses remain the biggest culprit of failure. But even then, excuses are decisions that you make. You control them. Having the self-discipline to form the habits necessary to overcome excuses will be your surest way to achievement. And remember, the habit isn't leading you to success, it's probably leading you to failure. I want to thank you for allowing me to be a part of this very special occasion for you, and I'll close by asking you to remember that in the end, you will not be judged by your title, but by your character. Not by the riches you've accumulated, but by the charity you've given. Not by what you've conquered in this world, but by what you leave behind. It doesn't matter how you started, it only matters how you finish. Finish strong.